Alright, so we're going to cover long division real quickly because I know some of you are still having a bit trouble with the long division, so we're going to start off. First thing we're going to start off doing, here's your equation that you're going to be working with. This is the way you'd be presented to on a quiz or a test or in the textbook, and this is the way you set it up. Alright, if you notice I'm not missing any terms, so I don't have to worry about that. But because I want to see how I want to practice that the constant thing you're supposed to be doing in order to do this. All right, so when you do this, you again long division, you're paying attention to only the first terms to decide what goes up here. What goes up here. So a to the fourth divided by a is a cubed. Okay. Now, because a cubed times a is a to the fourth. But unfortunately, with our divisor being a binomial, when you multiply a by a cubed, you also have to multiply the minus 5 by a cubed when you put it down below. So when you do that, it affects the next term. So we're going to do that. And then remember that we subtract. So when we subtract this, obviously this is out of here. That made sense because we're trying to get rid of that in the first place. Now negative 6 minus a negative 5 is negative 1. Okay. Now if it confuses you to bring down the next term, don't do it yet. We'll do it when we go to write the terms below. Alright, so how many times does a go into negative 1a cubed? Well, it goes in a squared times. Alright, so again you do a squared, negative a squared, times everything that's over here. But again, because again, even though it's affecting the a cubed, it's also affecting the next term as well. So let me bring down that 13a squared so I have something to match it up with. This one's obviously going to be minus a cubed, and then the next one is going to be positive 5a squared. And remember that we are subtracting. When we subtract negative 1, subtracting out the same amount, that always drops out. Anytime that happens, negatives or positives, doesn't matter. If you take away the same thing as you had, you always end up with 0. 13 minus 5, however, is 8a squared. And again, if you want to feel like bringing down that second term, the next term, you can. It doesn't affect what you're going to do in a second, but you can bring it down so everything lines up. All right, so how many times does a go into 8a squared? Well, that's going to be 8a. Okay, so again, I multiply 8a, the thing you just wrote up there, times the entire divisor to write what's below. So that'll be 8a squared minus 40a. So remember to subtract. Okay, so obviously that's out of here. Negative 45 minus negative 40 is negative 5. Bring down the 22. Alright, so now how many times does a go into negative 5a? Goes in negative 5 times. Negative